Morning. How are you today, Stephen? Sorry for the small delay. We had to go get some coffee. Let's go over that. Okay. Pull up my arch nemesis, the AI tracking on this camera. There we go. So yeah, let's see how far we can get. So I noticed something yesterday when I powered this on later on. Just to take some pictures for thumbnails. Yeah, RGB light sticks in there aren't working. I have no idea why. I went back through my Octo for Everywhere notifications, looked at the ending screens for all those, and they haven't been working for quite a while. I just didn't notice. Printing a spool holder for the Mini and parts for the Minion upgrade. What, Prusa Mini? So yesterday on stream we worked on modifying this so I could put a Canon plug in here. That printed great. Let's see if the Canon plug fits, which I guess is the ultimate test, right? Alright, so we got ourselves the female side of this Canon plug. My fingers are not wanting to work this morning. There we go. And let's see if it fits. Alright, so here we go. Let's keep this a little closer. There we go. So, oh, it's a little tight. It's a little tight. But it goes in there pretty good with a nice little satisfying snap. Yeah, I have a Prusa Mini on a shelf. And a V Minion I'm upgrading using CAD to version 1.1. Nice. I haven't followed any of the rat rig stuff. But the V Minions, that cantilevered printer, right? A little tiny, I don't know, is it a 120 or 180 size printer with a cantilever x-axis? All right, so my mind's still with me this morning. Good. All right, so let's get this installed. Good morning, Smalls.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing all right.
Guess what today is?
Monday.
The day I get ungrounded.
Who said that?
You said I was grounded for the weekend. So guess who I get to see today?
Are you, your mother, and your sister?
No, my wonderful and amazing food.
Well, we'll talk about that later. Same size as Prusa Mini Cell 180. Nice. All right. So that fits. Let's get this installed on the printer. What? We'll talk about it later.
So it's enough.
No, I didn't say that.
Are you streaming?
Yes. Ungrounded, mine would be bouncing on my bed at dawn. Yeah. So I put this door on, back on yesterday for pictures. Had a YouTube short this morning. Same thing with these fans. So let's go ahead and pull them back off. I just kind of loosely screwed them on here. My camera is tracking the door or the TV. What are you tracking and why? Do you know who I am? There you are. I don't know what AI is handling the tracking with this camera, but it's the world's dumbest AI. So, yeah, drunken AI, yes. I watched Miss Lee Marie's Twitch stream yesterday and learned a little bit more about Canva. Signed up for the free trial. I was using Canva to kind of put the letters over the pictures I was taking to make the thumbnails. But learned a little bit more on how to make them. Figured out that you had to get the Pro subscription to be able to remove the background off of your images, which is kind of the key, I think, for making a decent thumbnail. Well, like I said, signed up for the free trial and made some thumbnails. Went back and put them on the videos from the weekend. What do y'all think of them? Keystone out here. Then just gonna back her off the corner, I think, and take this skirt off and replace it. Yeah. Oh, and I also reworked and made a new intro video. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but I was really excited about that one. I think that one's way cooler. Might be a bit gamerish, but I think it's pretty freaking sweet. Throw that in our Boxo extra parts. So I switched the mode on this, hoping that maybe the AI tracking would work a little bit better if I had it on half body tracking rather than whole body tracking. You can have it track just your head too, but that seemed like a bad idea. Alright, let's get a heat set put into this thing. I figure Monday morning early is going to be a rough time to get people to watch the stream live. So I'm really glad you're here, so I have somebody to chat with, other than just being a crazy person talking to myself. But I really need to make some progress on a project just for my own sanity. So pushing through this, trying to get it done so we can get the Micron rebuild started next weekend. Get this skirt on, and I think we will start soldering up these Canon plugs, and then power her on and program our box turtle. So I think we're at that point now. Hey, that's okay with me. I'd watch it. I curse a lot and drink occasionally. Yeah, it's funny when younger, everybody always tells you to bend at the knees, lift with your knees, not bend at the back, lift with your back. And now I couldn't do that if I wanted to. I have no option but to bend at the knees. My back is not bent. So when can we expect your first stream there, Steven? Sounds like you got a couple projects you can stream. I tell you what, that's both that's my major concern with streaming. So having a project to do every stream could get rather expensive. And also, if you're streaming for a couple hours once a week, it takes a month or more to get a project done. And I really hate that. I'm normally a up at dawn, work till bed, repeat again all weekend long to get a project done. Not even dug into what it would take to do streaming. Camera and a mic, or just a pair of Bluetooth headphones or something. I was using a pair of AirPods to begin with for my mic. Through some channel tips, people tipping on the streams, I managed to get the DJI Mini that I have. So that's nice. That and a open box at Micro Center. And then I sold some printer stuff to buy some decent webcams, some 4K webcams, and we're off to the races. All right, let's get wired. We need wired. We're gonna need this box of connectors too. Alright. I've got two different IGUS cables. Which one has the thicker gauge wire? Come on. What would you do? Get off. I need to look up these wires. Figure out what gauge wires are nice. Seems like the light green one is going to be better, but I don't know. Alright, so here's our wires. And let's look these up. Not at all. Where'd you go? There you go. I think in a week or two, when I buzz Jeremy to grab the V core, I may pick his brain on the subject. Yeah, you should, man. You should. Let's bring this down here. Make this big. Need things to stop kicking my OBS out of the way. There we go. So has Jeremy been having fun with the rat rig? Wake up, keyboard. This one is CF 113.007.D. Okay. We need some way to search this. Let's see. CF 113.007. Alright, what is in this thing? 4 22 gauge wires. What is in this one? CF 5.05.04. For 20 gauge wires. So this is the one we want. Got thicker wires in it. Light green kind of overshadows the Trident color scheme. Darker is more of a turtle thing. Yeah, but I wanted the one with the thickest gauge wires in it. I couldn't remember which was which. Let's see, we got about 5, 10, 15, probably 17 or 18 feet left of the small spool of it I bought a couple years ago. I think it's been used for all my CAN bus stuff. Yeah, it's a CAN bus cable of a Trident. I know it is in 2.4. You see some background? No, I used the CAN bus wire that came with the toolhead board. Not sure if he is. As far as I know, he's not really had free time to play with it or dig in, but they were using it for all those project prints, so hopefully it's been of some use. Yeah, hopefully, because that's a big printer to go lugging around. All right. So the always fun and exciting. Cutting this cable. You need some of those. The X-Acto knife. Probably a pair of flush cutters. All right. So go over here and get some soldering done. Day Flicks, thanks for the sub. Welcome to the stream. All right, we're gonna go right like that. That might be too far. Trying to not go so far as so you guys can't make out what I'm doing, but far enough that there's a actual area I can use rather than an inch or two. All right. Let's cut back this sheathing. Get some wire exposed. I need to empty my little trash can. Get our wire straightened out here. There we are. So on these wires, there's 3 black, but they are numbered 1, 2, and 3. So what I like to do is make a reference so that I can keep track of what each one is. Over here in the corner, we have my project weight. This camera may go crazy and just try to like focus on it. It's got the little pictures for whiteboard presentation mode. So we can see I wrote down the dimensions when I was cutting the panels the other day. And we're gonna do yellow. Yellow wire is going to be 24-volt ground or negative. The black number 1 is going to be 24-volt positive. Black 2 is going to be can high. Spell. Black 3 is going to be can low. That way I can keep track, keep it all the same all the way across the setup, and then we don't make any magic smoke. All right. Let's get some heat shrink out. All right. Just cut off some pieces about 3/4 of an inch long. We're gonna need 4 of them. Oh, you know what I should do? I keep forgetting I got this. So, Steve, with his heat shrink labeler, I got some of those heat shrink labels. Just move the camera for a minute. Sorry, y'all. Keep moving, keep moving. Where's the small one? That's 8. Is that the small one? 8 millimeter, 8 millimeter, 8 millimeter. 5.8 millimeter. Do I have one of these? It's open. I do not. Alright. Gonna open one of the small heat shrink labels. Pop that in the label maker. Oh, take this off. Oh, go in there. There we go. All right, let's make some heat shrink labels. So the first one we've got is 24-volt and a negative sign. Space, 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 space. 24-volt. Where's the plus? Where's the plus? Symbols. Basic. Brackets. Arrows. Mathematics. The plus sign. Bunch of spaces. Then can. Low. Whole bunch of spaces. And then can high. And a whole bunch of spaces. And we'll print. Number of copies, 1. What do you mean no cassette? What are you doing to me? What is going on here? Where's the little sensor for to tell it that there's one in here? It doesn't think that there's a tape installed for some reason. Huh. I don't understand. I don't even see where it would sense it. Print's fine on here, which is a huge waste of tape. Let's see if I need to change the size of the text. Font size, small, print, print. It's irritating. See what happens when I put this one in here. It works on this. That heat shrink's way too big for what we need, though. You guys have experience with these? Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's like a difference that would cause this. I don't really see anything. There's a small difference on the top of that. Try a different one. So let's turn this counterclockwise until tight. Why would you think that there's nothing in here? When I put this one in here, does it do anything different? I'm trying to understand what even tells this thing that there's something in it. All right. Let's see if we can Google said thing and figure it out. Uh, Wake up, keyboard. Wake up, keyboard. I don't know where these sensors are it's talking about. Shift print. I don't know how to fix this, and that's frustrating. I don't even know what sensors it's trying to look for or look at. To know whether or not there's something in here or not. The only thing I can see is these little holes on the top. Right here, there's those little holes. Wonder if I take and put something over top of it. I don't think that there's a thing in here. And let me print one. Morning, Down Under Maker. How are you? All right, put this tape on there. I'm assuming that those are supposed to tell it what size each of these things is. Hey, that worked. Teacher, what kind of teacher are you? Like a school teacher or college professor? What do you teach? All right. There's our little heat shrink labels. Clean up that mess later. Science and engineering. Junior high / high school. Nice. I hope Australia pays its teachers better than we do. Their wire stripped. I may have put more spaces than I needed on this thing. That's really long. All right. There we go. There's 24-volt negative. 24-volt high. 24-volt low. I mean, can low. Hey, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear. I thought about going back to be a STEM teacher and then realized that I would need double the salary that they pay teachers. So it's kind of like, no. Morning, Killer Prince. How are you? All right. Now we need to draw a little picture on here for my orientation for the cannon plug. So we've got a circle. We've got our orientation part in the bottom. We've got our 4 pins. And we're going to do 24 negative, 24 positive, can low, can high. I'm looking at it from the front. It didn't track me, but I think you can see it on the board over there. Let's see that building. If I move me out of the way, you can see it. So I drew a picture over there so I can keep straight where all the wiring goes. All right, you need to check out. What's that? What do you mean you need to check out? So we need soldering iron on. We need some solder. Comment disappeared. Huh, that's weird. YouTube auto moderation, maybe? I don't have any mods. All right. Let's get these wires tinned. Now, Alan got fancy cannon plug with all water waterproof and all that stuff. And I figured I didn't need my printer's connections to be waterproof. So I paid significantly less for significantly more cannon plugs. Okay, so that's going to be negative. Get our shrink wrap label. And put it on there. And get this soldered on. On-planar printing, upside down printing. Guess underwater is next. Yeah. All right. There's negative. And what did we say? Number one is positive. Yes. Let's put our shrink wrap label on there. Let's not forget that. What's up with your box turtle there, Down Under Maker? Now we need can low. Loop it at TCC. I got Big Tree Tech Beta gear. Makes it easy to wire up. I'd like to see what you're talking about. Any chance you could, if you got permission to leak it, send me a picture or something on Discord. Take a look at it. My part 4 video, you show it. All right, let's take a look over here. Let's go to YouTube. Is your channel? Your channel's just Down Under Maker. Oh, the keyboard that always falls asleep. All right, let's go over here to monitor. About 30 minutes in. All right. First and foremost, let's subscribe. Part 4. 30 minutes in.
He's now sending this. He's probably okay.
Am I close to it there, Down Under Maker? Drop a like.
Now, I said at the beginning of the stream that I just put some background audio in place and music. Can anybody tell me, is it too loud, too quiet? It's one of those things that I need to so I have screwed up the as I put things in the settings. So,
52 minutes. All right.
For 1, 3. After the AD. So, now, it's much easier for me to show you guys. Unfortunately, there's a little green tweak here. That's not actually place in the pin. And then we can copy. And then you can kind of snap together once it's done.
How far along have you made it on your box turtle build?
What I'm doing is just making sure I'm not snapping in the other.
Yeah, scrubbing through on a phone is kind of difficult.
So the face cam is actually broken as a build next. If you blink out, but it's back on my screen, so. Alright.
About to flash firmware.
I'm done. Let me know if that's.
I'm about there myself.
So I'm gonna keep going, just putting the LED groups together. So the LED.
All right. Yeah, let me know when you figure out where it's at, and we will take a look at it. I'm curious. All right, there we go. All right, so can load. That's over here. All right. Now can high. Getting this heat shrink to open up is the hardest part. All right. There we are. Let's slide our heat shrink up on these connectors. So that we don't get anything shorting out later. Grab a 47, 46, 15, 47, skip me pulling it off the printer. All right, let me get this heat shrink done and we'll go take a look at that. All right, so there we have it, all heat shrunk, soldered up and labeled. All right, it's 47. Good boy, I'm clicking all over the place. What am I doing?
Yeah. Okay, this is it. Now, there's a good chance that some of the interfacing for the CAN bus will change to match what Big Tree Tech is doing with other things. But at this point, Wagos for the 24-volt power, CAN bus to match each Wago on both sides. The red and black, because this is a prototype, is the input. That's why it's marked separately. And then there's a 4-port USB hub, USB-C in, a USB 3 out, USB 3 low power out, and 2 USB 2s. And yeah, that's it. Oh, the switch, if you guys can look it out, is for activating or deactivating onboard power supply. So you can take the 24-volt power and power the USB hub from the 24-volt power. There was some hiccups and some of that stuff isn't working as reliably as it could be. So I said, I'm not happy. And that's the great part about being on this test. I could say to the guys, I'm not happy. I really don't think it's ready. And they took it seriously. It's this whole mindset change that they've got at PGC has been awesome. They've decided that if people who are doing testing and working with it every day, as on this side of the product, as in a user, if I'm not happy with it, the chances are most customers won't be happy with it, and they're ready to just put it to one side and do some more development. I've been told that there's a new version coming in the not too distant future, and I've put myself down for that test so that I can hopefully have carry some continuity through it and be able to provide that continuity from the old to the new so I can compare it. What this is going to do, the reason I'm showing you guys, this makes connecting tool heads and other ancillary equipment so much easier. I am going to be able to, well, what I've just unplugged is the main CAN bus feed from the MCU board. It goes in here. Then CAN bus out on this one has been going to my SV22092040, and the this one here was for the Enraged Rabbit Carrot feeder, but I can also have USB. So what I'm planning to do is use the USB for the AFC board, AFS board, whatever it's called in this kit, so that I can do that via USB. I have a cartographer on my toolhead, and there's been experiences where the cartographer and the box circle electronics don't play nicely, and some people's cartographers didn't last very long. So rather than run that risk, I've got the perfect opportunity with this breakout to be able to plug straight into here and not have difficult wiring and not have to keep flipping the machine over. It's been amazingly awesome for testing various gear that BTT have been sending me to put on my printer and then take off again. So yeah, I'm not going to tell you any more about it because that would be starting to give technical details away. It's going to be awesome when it launches. It's had those few little tweaks. Now this case is not the official case, it's something that I made up before they did their official case. What you saw on the stream, if you saw it, was bright green and had slopey sides on it. My case is a little bit smaller of a form factor, and it allows me to bolt it to the top rail of the back of my Voron. So yeah, there you go. A look at a beta project that hopefully will be coming soon.
That's pretty awesome. Thanks for sharing. If any of you guys aren't subscribed to Down Under Maker, go subscribe to him. I didn't know you had a channel, sir. That is pretty cool. All right. Now we get to feed all this crap. Well, I guess we can kind of guesstimate how long we need to go from there over to here. Give ourselves a couple extra inches. Go ahead and give this a snip. Good morning, dear.
I just got a phone call.
All right, hold on one second. Hold on, I'll be right back, guys. All right, I'm back. You stream 3 hours after Modbot finishes. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not sure what time Modbot streams. Uh, it seems to be in the middle of the day and at a time when I'm normally getting sleep for work or sleeping from getting home from work, rather. Uh, if you give me the, if you let me know what time and what day that is, that might work. If it's 3 hours after him, I might be awake then. Tell you what we'll do. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go over here and subscribe, and we're just going to turn all notifications on. 2 a.m. GMT Thursdays. So oh, this keyboard going to sleep is annoying. $10 p.m. Eastern for me. Uh, Unfortunately, that's when I'm walking into work, sir. I might be if you're on for about 3 hours. Uh, I normally go to break, which would be about a half hour before the end of your stream, so I could come check you out for about 10 minutes while I'm at my first break at work. I work third shift, so hopefully soon I'll be going to first shift, and then I'll be able to catch a little bit more of your streams. And I'll be able to stream a little bit more myself. All right. Let's go ahead and run this through. Skirt through our hole that we made yesterday. Modifying this thing on stream. Put our washer on. Screw on. Yep. Grab a wrench. pliers. Tighten that up. Well, that's probably not the best idea. Let's use these. That won't get in there. I should have made the cut out a little bigger. So you don't know whose it is. All right. Cannon plug installed. Yeah, I mean, your presentation is pretty good. I like it. And I'm pretty new at this too. So don't feel too terrible. Um, oh. Doing it like you're presenting to your students, probably a pretty good idea. It seems to have really worked for your fellow Australian, Michael over at Tech. Yeah, that's seems to be the best and only metric, I guess. Um, I've found that making shorts really helps get some exposure out there. I'd say more than half of my subscriber count is just from shorts. So I'll try to post shorts up on different projects for a while. That's all I was kind of doing. I mean, I did last year when I did the Enraged Rabbit Carrot Feeder V2. I was kind of the first person outside of the beta group to build one, and I was doing shorts on it, and those videos really kind of drove my channel from like, I don't know, 200-ish subscribers up to over 500, and accounted for about half of the watch time I had. All that watch time falling off over the last like 3 months really hurt me. I would have been to that first monetization checkpoint now if I hadn't lost all that watch time. All right, we gotta do another one of these cannon plugs. Since the first one was so riveting, for the box turtle to the to go from the box turtle skirt to the controller board. So also, I don't know if you know this or not, Um, watch time during the live stream and until it goes to VOD, which can be a couple minutes after you finish a stream, all the way up to a day or so after the stream, doesn't count. What are you watching now, you stupid camera? So it's only like watch time after you finish a stream that even counts. It's ridiculous. So unless people go back and watch your streams after the fact, you don't get any watch time. All right. Again with cutting the end of this. We'll get the sheathing off. Cut the little pull ribbon. Cut out the fiberglass core. So the thing that Big Tree Tech teased that I'm really interested in is that yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. The thing that Big Tree Tech teased that I'm really interested in is the CAN bus toolhead board that can run USB. Looked like there was some other stuff that was added to that. That sounded really interesting. All right, print some more heat shrink labels, and this time we won't waste so much stuff. So we've got 24-volt negative. Just go 3 spaces. 24-volt. Basic mathematics plus sign. And then can low and can high. Print. Can't comment NDA on that stuff still. I understand. I wasn't asking, I was just making a statement that it's interesting to me. Back when they were originally doing the looking at releasing the CB2, well, it was actually honestly like almost a year before that. They messaged me on Facebook asking for some input on it. I gave them some input. I recommended that they do the option for 24-volt power, and that seems to have panned out on the Pi, the Pi 2 or whatever it's called. So I was excited about that. Pi 1.2 I think has the option for it too. And then the faster processor obviously, and more onboard storage, the option for onboard storage. But do they blow up regularly? I don't know. I've got Pi 1.2 over here running the CR10. And I've got that running off 24-volt power, but it doesn't get used a whole heck of a lot, to be honest with you. So I'm not entirely sure. What is my Amazon notification? Did I buy something on Amazon? No, I didn't. Lots of complaints from users. Yeah. It is what it is. I tell you what though, Big Tree Tech stuff has performed the most consistently for me. I love the EBB 36. It's what I run in most of my printers. It's in my 2.4. It's in my Trident. And it's in my Micron too. That's what I run in those three. It's what I'll put into the next switch wire I build. Yeah. That's why I'm really interested in the other one. I run, so the Trident has a Pi 4 gig. The 2.4 has a Pi 4 2 gig. I mean Pi 4 gig. So does the switch wire and the V0. The Micron has a CB1 on a Manta board. I would have really liked it if it came with a CB2. They just used what it came with. But I was going to buy a CM4, but then I realized I couldn't run the little 3.5-inch screen. I wish they had a Pi 3.5-inch screen. That I could run on that Micron, because I have to have that little dinky screen, or whatever size it is. I think it's 3.5. Or mention. All right. Well, that's awesome. Hopefully, new boards come out and they work great. It's not like I'm gonna take and rip the boards I have out of my printers to replace them, but if something were to happen to one or build another printer, I would definitely pick it up. I mean, they're welcome to send me one, and I will absolutely rip boards out and put it in if they want to donate one. Then we can make some content on it. But you like cherry pie? See, I'm a lemon meringue or blueberry pie kind of guy. I forgot to put the little dust cover on the back of our thingamabobber. We'll just stick it on there for now so nothing shorts out. Because I'm not taking that apart. There's not really enough threads on there to put it under it. And honestly, once it's all hooked up, it's not going to be very often that it's apart for stuff to get in there shorted out. All right. Let's add some. This thing needs to stop it. Keeps coming off of here. All right. So that's going to be can low. Well, number. Uh-oh. Flashlight, because I need to be able to see these numbers. I think I did not follow my own wire numbering scheme. Need another camera? I mean, it depends on what you do. Looks like you have two. High. 2 is low. Let's fix that. That would have been bad. Camera, what are you doing? What cameras do you have now, Down Under Maker? ObSpot Mini. Looking at me. DSLR for the downward looking. And want a side camera to give a broader view. Yeah, so I've got the Insta360 Link 2, which is the camera that's moving around looking at me and failing to follow me a lot of times. And I got this camera here is the ObSpot Meet 2. And then the one that's looking down at the bench is just a crappy Logitech C615 or something like that. I would really like to get a nice downward looking camera to replace this thing. Something with some zoom that I could mount up here above the TV to look down at this bench area. But cameras, like real cameras, are really expensive. So that doesn't seem like it's in the cards for a long time. I was really fortunate to be able to get the stuff that I have. So I'm really grateful for that. We just go with it from there. So can low needs to be over there. Yeah, Steve has a the ObSpot Meet 2 as well. I just found that out recently. I was going back and forth between whether to get the ObSpot Tiny 2 or whatever it is, the AI tracking one, or the Insta360. I watched a bunch of reviews on it. I like the color balance better on the Insta360. Nobody said anything one way or the other about the tracking on either one. They both seem like there's no issues with it on either. So I went with the Insta360. I have the Flow. I got that last year. Like you like put your camera on and stuff. It's a gimbal. So I like that, so I went with the Insta360 for that one. All right, let's go ahead and move our heat shrink up here over top of our pins. The Mini 2 has been good for tracking. It seems to follow me nicely. Yeah. I think the main problem I have is I'm moving around a lot in a lot of different areas. And sometimes getting blocked by different things. So I think that's where it runs into its problem. Like if I was in one area moving back and forth a few feet, forward and back a few feet, it would probably do better. I've also wondered if I move it from this monitor to the monitor here in front of me, if it might do better. I don't know. Rather than kind of tracking sideways for itself. Because right now it's straight. It's looking straight forward from where it's at. But if I'm over there working on printers and stuff, it's tracking to its side. How far does this go? Does not have to go far. So that'll probably do it right there. All right. We're going to go ahead and cut the sheathing back. Why are you tracking my elbow? See, this is the kind of random, crazy, stupid shit it does. Sometimes it wants to like track my hands. Sometimes it wants to track my elbow. The other day it wanted to track the other camera. I wish it had a way, like on the, when I've got the Insta360 Flow, I've got my phone on it. I can tap on what I want it to track, and then it locks on that and tracks it. I wish I could do the same thing for this. Cannon plug. See what I mean? What are you looking at now? Freaking retarded. Grab a pair of pliers. Yeah, I've got mine set to half body. Tracking settings. Enable auto tracking. Tap once to enter an exit tracking. Uh, Smart composition. What is that? Wonder if that'll make it work better versus it trying to do whatever. We'll try that for a second, see if that works any better. All right. See, that's the other thing. Like, I'm turning away from it at times. That's installed. All right. That doesn't seem to have helped any, so we'll turn that back on. All right, so we're gonna call it there for right this second. Starting to look for what you're gonna do after Box Turtle. What's your ideas? I'm currently off stream working on the beta for the new Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder. Nice. Fadus just sent me all the parts to redo all my Rapido 2 ultra high flows to the new F version. So that's in the Micron. I've got it for my other 2 Rapidos as well. A4T with the APUS. Oh, nice. Winning stuff's always nice. I won from West 3D stream yesterday something from Vitali. So this back in early December, Vitali had some B stock parts that he was selling inexpensively on Voron Marketplace. So I picked up the AB mounts and I picked up an EBB 36 mount. The EBB 36 mounts in the Micron. But the AB mounts I got for the Trident because I kept melting my AB motor mounts. And I keep chewing through the XY mounts. Well, I was going to pick up the XY mounts, and he told me to hold on because he had some new ones he was working on, and they were in beta. And they've come out of beta since, and I just kept forgetting to get them. So that's what I picked off of my win for on the West 3D stream last night on Meet the Maker. So we'll have those to install on the Trident here at some point. So I'm really excited about that. I can stop eating stuff on my gantry. It's always fun when your printer eats itself. Anyway, I've got a bit of a family situation I've got to deal with this morning. And after that, oh, absolutely. I accepted your friend request on Discord already. Go ahead and shoot me some DMs. But we might be back this afternoon to work on this some more. I really wanted to make way more progress than this today, but I've really got to go deal with this situation. So we'll see how that situation goes. If it turns out all right, I'll be back later on this afternoon. If it doesn't turn out all right, see you next Saturday, hopefully. All right. Later, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe,